Today, we're going to decode the secret messages your body sends when it's desperate for water. Now, you probably think you know the biggest sign, thirst, right? But what if I told you that's actually one of the last signals to show up? Let's dive into all the clues you might be missing.
So, how do you really know when it's time to hydrate? Here's a little secret. If you're waiting until you feel thirsty, you're already behind. You're already playing catch-up. That feeling of thirst isn't the first warning. No, it's one of the last.
And this quote from Dr. Trun Hong Sin, well, it just sums it up perfectly. Think about that for a second. Thirst isn't a heads up, it's a full-on alarm bell that only rings after the problem has already started. And you know what? Understanding that one thing can change everything about how you hydrate.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with why thirst is such a late signal. Then we'll get into the obvious and the not-so-obvious clues your body is sending you. We'll also look at when dehydration gets truly dangerous, how to hydrate smarter, and then, at the very end, I'll show you 2 super simple checks you can do anytime, anywhere.
All right, let's tackle that late signal, thirst. You know how your phone gives you that 10% battery warning? It's not a helpful reminder when you have a full day ahead, it's a last-ditch alert. Thirst is exactly like that. By the time your brain finally triggers that "I'm thirsty" feeling, your body's water balance is already off.
And get this, your brain is about 73% water. That is a huge number. It means that even a tiny dip in your hydration levels can seriously mess with your memory and your focus, way before you even think about feeling thirsty. You know that afternoon brain fog we all get? Yeah, that could just be your brain practically begging for a glass of water.
Okay, so moving beyond thirst, let's talk about the more obvious signs. These are the classic red flags that most of us are probably familiar with, the ones that tell you your body's water tank is running low. I'm betting you've felt some of these before. That feeling of just being completely wiped out, that can kick in when your body's water level drops by just 2%. A dry, sticky mouth, pounding headaches, and of course, dark, concentrated urine, these are all your body's ways of screaming for H2O. Now for the really interesting part. Your body has some pretty subtle, almost sneaky ways of telling you it's dehydrated. And a lot of the time, we mistake these signals for something else entirely. First up, bad breath. Kind of weird, right? But when you're dehydrated, your body makes less saliva. And why does that matter? Well, saliva is your mouth's natural cleaning crew. It's antibacterial. Without enough of it, bacteria just have a party in there. And that's what leads to bad breath. So hey, maybe it wasn't the garlic bread after all. Here's another signal that can really throw you off, a sudden craving for something sweet. See, your liver uses water to release stored energy. When you're dehydrated, it struggles to do its job. Your brain senses this energy dip, but it gets the message wrong. It thinks you need a quick fix, so boom, you're suddenly craving a cookie when what you really need is water. And believe it or not, your mood is incredibly sensitive to your hydration levels. Research shows that losing just 1% of your body's water can make you feel noticeably more angry, confused, and tense. So the next time you feel totally irritable for no reason, maybe the answer isn't a deep breath. Maybe it's just a big glass of water. Okay, now we need to get serious for a minute. While being a little dehydrated is pretty common, it can absolutely escalate into a real medical emergency if you don't pay attention. This chart really puts it into perspective. A 2% water loss, and you just feel tired. But at a 10% loss, we're talking dangerous territory with major health problems. And if that loss hits 20%, it can actually be fatal. This isn't just about feeling a little off. This can be a matter of life and death. When your body is in crisis mode from severe dehydration, your blood volume actually drops, which skyrockets your risk of having a stroke. Your kidneys get strained, leading to damage or painful kidney stones. Your heart has to work way overtime, which can cause low blood pressure and a racing pulse. It can even make older adults more likely to fall because of dizziness. So the most important thing here is knowing when to act. If you've got a headache, you feel tired, maybe some muscle cramps, that's your cue to start rehydrating at home. But if those symptoms escalate to a fever, feeling confused, or even fainting, that's not something to wait on. That's a clear signal to get medical help right away. Okay, enough of the scary stuff. Let's talk solutions. The good news is, staying properly hydrated is actually pretty simple if you do it the right way. And it's not just about chugging gallons of water until you feel bloated. So, experts recommend 3 really simple steps. First, drink proactively. Make it a habit. Don't just wait for thirst to kick in.
Second, take small, consistent sips all day long. Your body can actually absorb the water better this way. See, if you just gulp down a huge bottle all at once, most of it just passes right through you. It's way less effective.
And don't forget, you can eat your water too. Foods with high water content are fantastic for staying hydrated. We're talking watermelon and other melons, of course. Coconut water is amazing because it's also packed with electrolytes. And things like soups, tomatoes, and smoothies are all great ways to give your fluid intake a serious boost.
All right, to wrap things up, I want to leave you with 2 incredibly simple tests you can use to check in on your own hydration levels no matter where you are.
First up is the urine color check. And honestly, this is one of the most reliable tools you have. If your urine is a light, pale yellow, almost like lemonade, you're doing great. If it starts to look more like apple juice or honey, that's your body telling you to drink up. And if it's consistently dark brown or orange, it's probably a good idea to check in with a doctor.
And the second one is a skin pinch test, which is a quick check of your skin's elasticity. You can try it right now. Just gently pinch the skin on the back of your hand for a second and let go. Does it snap back instantly? Awesome, you're probably hydrated. But if it kind of holds that pinch shape for a moment before slowly going back to normal, you might be dehydrated.
And that brings us to our final thought. Look, this isn't just some random information. This is about your health, right here, right now. So I'll leave you with a simple question. Based on everything we just talked about, how hydrated are you today?